Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the March Visa Bulletin, which sees the forward movement of the Indian nationalities on the EB2 in particular. Immediately, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is, as long as your priority date falls under that category and then the data filing with that, you can file your 485. The more important is not your documentation. Definitely it's a very detailed form work, so you have to get everything done. But prior to that, the 485 also involves a 485J, that is from your employer. That takes a little longer time because the 485J has to be provided by your employer, the details from the perm that has been, the job duties and the salary and all those. So that practically takes a little longer time. So connect with your employer to make sure. Parallelly, you have to get prepared with your 485J. And even more important is finding a doctor, USCIS doctor, to get your medical reports to be submitted along with the package in a sealed envelope. Sometimes Indian nationalities, they do have react for the Manto test, then they have to go through the next process of it. But however, these are all some of the delays that might happen. Along with that, you know about the birth certificate that you need to get ready with it, and even there are so many emails that has been sent to us that some of you have written in your own native language. So all that you have to do is find a translators who can translate it and provide it. And some of the birth certificates will not have the name, it's a no name given. That's fine as long as the parent's name and the date of birth matches to that of you. And if you don't have anything, non-availability certificate is very important. Even if you don't have anything, many documents, there are prior documents, that is like copy of your transfer certificate and 20 years prior, even a passport copy that has been with you. Those are all proofs that can be attached. So there are alternatives always available. So just don't stress yourself about it. You can find an alternative. The way it is proper filing of the recommended documentation. That's all very important for you to do that. Also, one more thing on this filing, I know you're all excited if you see that your priority date is current to go for the data filing, but make sure this bulletin starts from March 1st. If you have all the other documents, sometimes you post it on 27th as next day delivery. USCIS, the mailroom doesn't look into any of those details. They just see that on 28th, the received documents, the priority date for this data filing is not current, so they just return it back, and you come to know only after a month. And so in that case, you need to make sure that it is properly prepared, and I'm sure whoever you're working with, they will be knowing about this when it has to be posted, and every other details and the pictures, what kind of photographs, everything will be there. But then just make sure to these smaller attention. What about the data filing and the final action date? So now you're filing on the data filing. So if you have children who are about to age out, so they are not from the last year USCIS memo, still then the age gets locked with the data filing. However, it's not correct anymore. So the latest update was that the final action dates have to be the one that will be counted for your children too, the aging out children. The age gets locked only with the final action dates, not with the data filing. So please, it's a subjective question. Please make sure, because parallelly you might have to maintain the other status. If they are on F1, unless they are not traveling out of country, they can still continue their F1 status even with the 485 that gets filed. But again, as I said, it's a very detailed, CSP is not something that can be discussed on a YouTube video. You definitely have to find the right attorney to understand where your children who are underage stands on this place. And one more quick tip, if you have a final action date that has been current and your children are just closer to aging out, what you can do is, because the 485, even though the final action dates are current, and USCIS, we see recently, they are trying their best to capture the visa dates for the final action so that it doesn't get missed. So they try their best to capture those dates, and then they expedite the process itself on the 485. But still, there is something, if you see that final action dates are there and your children are aging out, please reach out to your congressman and request them that their support will help you out to expedite a minimal to the USCIS, so that they don't, it's very precious that they should not be losing the final action dates because of the processing on the 485. So please take every effort. I hope I'm able to clarify in a short video however I could, and I'm very thankful and appreciative every time you say that, your videos are helping us out. I'm very grateful that we are somewhere supportive of your visa status, your visa clarifications and everything, and reach out to our office for any more details. And thank you, and be prepared for your 485 if you're eligible for it.